The Coin Matters channel is pleased to have you back. Dear everyone, hopes for Alumnis Ripple are sparked by new stablecoin legislation in the United States. One name for Gillibrand Payments stablecoins is stablecoins. Senators Kirsten Gillibrand and Cynthia Elames were the center of attention on Wednesday when they introduced a law called the Payment Stablecoin Act. In addition to combating the problems of money laundering and illicit funding, the legislation aims to promote innovation and protect consumers in the markets. The introduction of the Payment Stablecoin Act was announced by Senator Kirsten Gillibrand, who expressed her gratitude for the opportunity to introduce the bill with Senator Cynthia Lummis. Gillibrand emphasized the importance of regulating stablecoins in order to protect consumers, encourage responsible innovation, and combat illicit finance and money laundering. In a separate press release, Senator Gillibrand outlined the key points of the Act 2 stablecoin issue, including the need to maintain 1:1 reserves and UN backing. It is necessary to outlaw algorithmic stable currency. Establishing regulatory frameworks at the federal and state levels for stablecoin issuers that are meant to sustain the dual banking paradigm will protect clients by preventing users and issuers from utilizing stablecoins in an illegal or unauthorized manner. To emphasize the dollar's role as the medium of digital exchange, the press release considered American interest in the US dollar. To secure American values and the dollar as the foundational currency for the $4 trillion, payment stablecoin legislation must be passed. As a defense against other countries' ambitions to create their own settlement systems, the US will specify coding standards for compatible stablecoins. Regarding the news, Stuart Alley, Chief Legal Officer of Ripple, issued the following comment alongside the company's bill proposal regarding stable currency. Crypto policy is being advanced by Senators Kirsten Gillibrand and Cynthia Lummis. Even though a great deal of effort remains, a number of senators and representatives have shown their support for crypto legislation, which is good. There ought to be zero room for politics in the creative process. Given that the SEC is litigating an increasing number of cryptocurrency companies, this bill couldn't have come at a more critical moment. Examples of stablecoins used for payments include Ripple and ACT. One feature of the stablecoin, which is also 100% backed, is a one peg with the United States dollar, which Ripple first stated in April as its intention to create. Through deposits of US dollars, short-term government treasuries, or other liquid assets. If the Lummis-Gillibrand Payments Stablecoin Act moves forward in the digital asset space, it might pave the way for Ripple to develop its own stablecoin. Gillibrand and Lummis are two very informed senators. With the goal of protecting American customers, Senators Lummis and Gillibrand introduced the Responsible Financial Innovation Act in 2022. Promoting innovation is another objective of the measure. However, due to the fact that it expands the Commodity Futures Trading Commission's authority to oversee the digital asset sector, the bill's advancement has been slow. There has been little improvement, leaving Ripple and other cryptocurrency companies susceptible to the State Securities and Exchange Commission's SEC enforcement of control. Contrast SEC with Ripple. You should expect the opposing brief from April 22 very shortly. Concerning the Ripple lawsuit filed by the ECB. On Wednesday, there were no fresh information that investors needed to examine. Meanwhile, the 22nd of April is the next important day on the amended court briefing calendar. Ripple is due to submit its rebuttal brief in response to the SEC's opening brief regarding remedies. Solving the problems with selling XRP to institutional investors after a complaint has been filed is one way to punish companies for breaking U.S. securities regulations, which could lead to more trouble with the SEC. Selling XRP to US-based institutional investors was suggested as a $2 billion ban by the Securities and Exchange Commission. Based on Judge Annalisa Torres's ruling from July 2023, the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) may feel even more compelled to appeal the judgment concerning the programmatic sales of XRP if the verdict is in Ripple's favor. Sales of XRP through programmatic channels fail miserably on the third prong of the Howey test. In August, the SEC plans to submit a request for an interlocutory appeal, as previously announced. 2023 to challenge the decision. Contrarily, the court denied the plea in October 2023, thus the SEC would have to wait for the case to finish before appealing the verdict. The ever-present prospect of an appeal is a continuing drag on XRP's value. Senator Elizabeth Warren's recent letter to Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen was scathingly criticized by XRP attorney John Dutton. The letter that Warren sent that raised concerns about stablecoins and how rogue regimes and terrorist groups could exploit them was the target of Dean's criticism. X, a social media site, was where Dayton simultaneously made his criticism public. A staunch opponent of war, John Denton is an XRP supporter. Legal immigration, income inequality, soaring inflation, increased taxes, wealth, flight, etc. are just a few of the crises that Massachusetts is confronting. John Deaton brought this to light by pointing out that Senator Warren's priorities were in the wrong place. The financial industry has Elizabeth Warren's full support. The continued success of the banking business is something Deaton is very committed to, as she stated on. In addition, the XRP supporter pointed out that the senator allegedly ignored pressing domestic concerns, like the ones affecting Steward hospitals, but she stopped short of adding that it is a shame she didn't give these domestic problems the same level of attention. The XRP lawyer's remarks came in response to a post by Alexander Grieve, the head of political affairs at the tech investment firm Paradigm, who shared screenshots of Warren's letter in a post on Facebook. The number of letters opposing stablecoin has increased significantly, and they have been directed towards Janet Yellen, the Secretary of the Treasury. Greaves claims that this is another letter to Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, pleading with her to include DeFi system nodes in the anti-money laundering clause of any stablecoin legislation. Furthermore, in Coinbase's lawsuit against SEC Eleanor Turret, the XRP attorney has taken a firm stance. In a recent interview with a Fox News journalist, Denton said that, within the next month, he will be submitting an amicus brief representing Coinbase. Furthermore, he mentioned that the relocation would occur prior to. In contrast to reading about Bursic, his bid for the Senate is based on Coinbase. John Deaton promises to represent Coinbase backers in an amicus brief. You should not consider the data shown here to be trading advice. Any investments made relying on the information presented on this page are not liable for any reason. Prior to settling on an investment strategy, our recommendation is to do half of the research yourself and half with an expert. The video ends there. Do me a favor and subscribe to my channel. Coming up shortly, farewell.